Hi all. First class we have seen the how to define the cursor and how to write in the simple loop and in the for loop also. So you can define based on our requirement. You can define cursors. So that single cursor or dual cursor or triple cursor. So whatever required. So now we'll move to next topic, that is parameterized cursor. So parameter cursor means, so till now whatever we are writing in the cursor, so simply we are writing as a cursor name is select statement we are writing. But in this parameterized cursor, so have to pass the value to the cursor. Based on that value, cursor statement will be changed automatically. Passing a parameter in the cursor is called a parameter cursor. At this cursor, it will allow a user to pass the data extracted from one cursor to the other cursor through arguments. Okay, so parameter specification is provided at the declaration of the cursor and when the cursor gets opened. So syntax is normal cursor, how we are defining cursor name, or here parameter and data type is select star from table name, where column name is equals to that parameter name. Okay, so we have to pass the parameter to the cursor using this cursor name. After that parameter, what are the parameter? That data type is data type. After that is select statement is select star from table name, where column name is equals to parameter name. So we'll see how it will be pass. We can pass the parameter. So normal explicit cursor, how we'll write? So declare cursor name is select ename from emp, and variable I will defining IC1 percentage row type. Begin open C1 loop, fetch C1 into I, exit when C1 percentage not found. So DBMS output dot put underscore line I dot enum. Simple explicit cursor here, and we are using this in the simple loop. In the simple loop, what we have to do? Cursor we have to define in the declare section, and in the executable section, open, fetch, and close. That we have to manually do all the operations. Okay, so okay, now we got it. So here we not. So when I execute it, so automatically we are getting the ename employee name data in this DBMS output. Okay, now all the data I'm getting. Suppose I want to pass some department number or to the this cursor. Based on that, I want to change the output here. So then how will you declare the cursor means? Here we are declaring the cursor. C1 is select ename job from EMP, where department number is equals to 10. Okay, so cursor C2 is select ename job from EMP, where department number is equals to 20. So here also based on the query, automatically we are saving the data into the cursor C1 and C2. So here what will happen again? LV underscore ename varchar of 20, LV underscore job varchar of 20. Begin open C1, DBMS output department number 10 details. Loop fetch C1 into LV underscore ename, comma LV underscore job. Exit when C1 percentage not found. And DBMS output dot put underscore line of LV underscore ename concatenate LV underscore job. After that, end loop close C1. Again, we are opening the another cursor C2 and printing the department number 20 details. Here also loop fetch C2 into LV underscore ename, comma LV underscore job. So same variables we are using this local variables. What are there? LV underscore ename, LV underscore job. In both the cursors we are using. Exit when C2 percentage not found, and printing the employee name and job. So now in this here, we are passing the where class condition here in the cursor. Okay, department number 10 and department number 20. But based on the runtime, I want to pass it. Then so if I want to pass that in the runtime, we have to use the parameterized cursor. Like okay, we'll define this. Declare LV underscore n varchar of 20. So here cursor C1 P underscore department number is select ename from EMP where department number is equals to P underscore department number. Begin DBMS output enough employee details from department number 10 details. Okay, open C1 and we are passing this C1 of 10. Okay, so this here we are defining the cursor with parameter cursor C1 of department number data type is select ename from EMP where department number is equals to P department number. Okay, so where we will pass this for this value P department number? Here in the executable section, we'll pass this parameter value here. Open C1 of 10. Loop fetch C1 into LV underscore ename. Exit when C1 percentage not found. DBMS output put underscore line of LV underscore ename. End loop close C1. And again DBMS output put underscore line of employee from department number 20 details. Open C1 of 20. Okay, if you see here, so same cursor again I am opening with the another department number here. Loop fetch C1 into LV underscore ename. Exit when C1 percentage not found. DBMS output potential line of LV underscore ename. End loop close C1 end. Yeah. So here employee details for the department number 10 King, Clark, Miller, and for the department number 20 Jones, Scott, Ford, Smith, and Adams. So here what we are doing instead of the taking the two cursors with the same cursor, we are passing the department number value here as a parameter. Okay, P department number to the cursor value, cursor parameter. So based on that, we are getting the cursor value is updated here. When you are using this open C1 of 10, automatically it will fetch the data. Here it will, this 10 will be passed here, P department number, and this statement will become as a cursor C1 is select ename from EMP where department number is equals to 10. Same way when you are passing 20, this 20 will pass here and it will select ename from EMP where department number is equals to 20. So that cursor value, whatever the this select statement will get the query output that will be stored in this C1. Here it will be for the department number 10. Here it will be for the department number 20. So here in the loop, we are fetching the data and printing the values. Okay. Same thing can be achieved using one more example here. Declare LV underscore ename varchar of 20 LV underscore department number. Assignment operator ampersand LV underscore department number. So in the above example, in the code itself, we are providing the department number here. Okay. But in this runtime parameter, we are passing here for this department number. Cursor C1 of P department number of number is select ename from EMP where department number is equals to P department number. Okay. Begin DBMS output dot put underscore employee from department number concatenate LV underscore department number. This value coming from here. So for this, what we are defining? So on the runtime parameter, runtime whatever the value gives, that value department number, it will come here. Details. Open C1 of LV underscore department number. Suppose if you are giving 10, automatically it will C1 of 10. If you are giving 20 for this, it will C1 of 20. So loop fetch C1 into LV underscore ename exit when C1 percentage not found. DBMS output dot put underscore line of LV underscore ename and loop close C1. So this we are removing here. So previously we have taken manual department number 10, 20, 30 like that. So that this is not required here. So automatically while running this program, when you pass the department number 10, so it will give you department number 10 employee details here. Suppose if you are passing department number 20, you are getting department number 20 details. Same way if you pass department number 40. So is there any records here? Under department number 40, there is no record. Same way, suppose if I pass department number 50. There also department number 50, there is no records under this. If I pass department number 90 or something, it is printing only employee from department number 90 details, but here no records found in this cursor, so that it will not give any output. So one more example for this parameter cursor is cursor C1 of P underscore job varchar 2 is select star from EMP where job is equals to P underscore job. EMP percentage row type begin open C1 of clerk. Loop fetch C1 into I exit when C1 percentage not found and DBMS output I dot employee number I dot ename I dot job and loop close C1 open C1 of manager. Loop fetch C1 into I exit when C1 percentage not found. Here DBMS output I dot employee number I dot ename I dot job and loop close C1 end. So same cursor we are opening and closing based on our requirement. Suppose here you are opening the cursor, open cursor, and if you forgot to close this cursor, close cursor, and what will happen? It will throw the error. If you see this, it is printing the values first up to here. After that, it is cursor is not closed, so that it is throwing the error. Cursor already open. An attempt was made to open a cursor that was already open. This is the error you are going to face when you don't close the cursor properly. So when I use this, then automatically program is procedure successfully completed. So we are getting the clerk and here manager details. So in the cursor, what we are passing here? We are passing the job here. Job type we are passing here. C1 of clerk and C1 of manager here. Based on that, cursor query is getting the values. Suppose if you are using the parameterizer cursor for the parent table and child table by using the simple loop. So what is the mean by parent table and child table? So here the department, if you see the employee table and department table. So department table containing the department number, department name, department location, and employee table also contains the department number. But the department number from where it is coming? from the department table only. So that is means in the employee table, department table, department number we are using as a reference key, or you can call as a foreign key. That column in the department table is primary key. That primary key column when we are using in the child table, foreign key, then it is called a parent and child relationship. Here cursor C1 is select star from DEPT. Cursor C2 of P department number of number data type is select star from EMP where department number is equals to P department number. So one cursor we are taking normal cursor and another parameterized cursor we are taking. I department percentage row type, J employee percentage row type. That is EMP table percentage row type. Begin open C1 loop fetch C1 into I. Exit when C1 percentage not found. And printing this DBMS output using like this. Some meaningful way here. Okay. So in the DBMS output, I dot department number, I dot dname, I dot location I'm taking. So after that, so if you see here, loop starting first, we are opening the cursor, fetching the data, loop started here above. And without closing this C1, and I'm opening the cursor C2. Open C2 of I dot department number. What are the department number comes in here? The department number I am passing to the cursor C2. Loop fetch C2 into J. Exit one C1 percentage not found. DBMS output dot put underscore J dot employee number J dot ename J dot job manager hide at salary. Want to recognize commission and department number. And loop close C2. And loop close C1. So once this comes in the loop, first it will come to the C1 and it will start the loop here. And after that, cursor C2 open and fetch the data. It will complete this second loop first. After that, it will complete the first loop. Then I'm getting the details like this. So first, department number 10, department name accounting, Dallas. After that, in this department number 10, what are the employees are there? All the employee details it is printing. King, Clerk, Miller. And next it will go to department number 20, research and Chicago. Under this department number 20, what are the employee details are there? That is printing. After that, department number 30, sales New York. So department number 30 details. After that, department number 40. So there is no records under this, so that it is closing here. Okay. So what we have done here? So we are taking two cursors and passing the one cursor value to the another cursor as a parameter here. So department number we are taking from this first cursor and that we are passing here. Open C2 of I dot department number. Okay. So while declaring, we are defining as a C2 cursor C2 of P underscore department number data type is select star from EMP where department number is equals to P underscore department number. So here for that parameter we are passing the I dot department number. This I dot department number will replace here and what are the value coming here that will be replaced here in this query. So on this select statement, select a star from EMP where department number is equals to 10, 20, 30, 40. Then the cursor values will be changing dynamically. Same with the parameter cursor for parent and child table by using the for loop. This is the simple loop we are using. So how we use in the for loop? So for loop is so simple. No need to open the cursor and no need to fetch the data and no need to close the cursor. Declare cursor C1 is select star from DEPT. Cursor C2 same P underscore department number data type is select star from EMP where department number is equals to P underscore department number. Begin for I in C1. We are opening the first cursor here for I in C1 loop and we are printing this DBMS output and department number details, location details. So now for that, we are opening the cursor C2 for J in C2 I dot department number. Here we are passing the same thing. For the cursor C2, we are passing the I dot department number so that here it will be 10, 20, 30, 40, it will pass it here. And after that, in the loop, it is printing the J dot department number, J dot employee number, J dot ename, J dot job. So if you want, you can add the extra columns also. So, but till now here I am using only these columns. End loop and loop. This is end loop for this C2 and this is end loop for the C1. Okay, and so same way it is printing department number 10, accounting, Dallas, employee details here. And department number 20, employee details, 30 details, and 40, there is no records here. What is the difference here? This is the for loop using the for loop and here simple loop. In the simple loop, we have to open the cursor and paste the data and close the cursor here. We are closing this cursor. But whereas in the for loop, we are not doing any cursor operations. Automatically, system will do the cursor operations. It will open the cursor, fetch the data and close the cursor. Suppose from the pivot result table, if I want to fetch some data, then you can use this using the parameterized cursor value. So declare cursor C1 is select star from pivot result where row number less than or equals to 20. Cursor C2 is select star from P1 PO line sol where pivot ID is equals to P underscore pivot ID. So means from the pivot sol we need to pass the pivot ID to this pivot line sol. Based on that, we are getting the values here. So for the pivot line sol, what is the common column means? Pivot header ID is the common column. When we pass that, what are the condition here matching that records will be fetching from this pivot line sol. For I in C1 loop, DBMS output underscore enough, I dot pivot ID, I dot segment 1. So that means pivot ID value and segment 1 means PO number. PO header sol in the pivot result table, segment 1 means PO number. Okay. So for J in C2 of I dot pivot ID loop, DBMS output underscore enough, J dot pivot ID, concatenate J dot PO line ID, concatenate J dot item description. End loop, end loop, end. So here it is printing the pivot ID and PO number. Under this, what is the here pivot ID, PO line ID, and item description. Same way, pivot ID, PO number, pivot ID, line ID, and item description here. Okay, like this, how many numbers? So it will print for the 20 records because we are taking for this the row number less than or equals to 20 here. Suppose if I go into one more example here, if you see, declare cursor C1 is select star from pivot all where PO header ID is this number I am passing here. So and cursor sheet is P underscore PO header ID, number data type is select star from PO lines all where PO header ID is equals to P underscore PO header ID. Begin for I in C1. So loop opening here and fetching the data and pivot ready I dot segment 1. After that, line details we are printing. For JNC2, I dot pivot ready. We are taking the pivot details only. So pivot ready and here pivot ready, pivot line ID, line number, item description. This is the pivot ready number and this is the pivot number. Under this we have this pivot ready, pivot line ID and item description. Line number and item description here. So this is about the parameterized cursor. We are passing the one parameter to the cursor. Based on that, dynamically it is fetching the value and printing the details here. Anyone have the doubts? Okay. So next move on to our next topic, that is exceptions. So what is exception is? Why we use say warning or error in the PLSQL is called exception. It is used to handle the errors at runtime. An error occurs during the program execution is called the exception in PLSQL. Okay, so whenever you are getting the any error in the execution time, what it will do, immediately program will be terminated. But I don't want to terminate the program, I want to continue the program, so that then I have to use the exceptions in the program. Then what it will do, it will capture the what is the error and it will continue to the next executions. But if you are not using the exception, what will happen? Wherever error comes, program will stop there itself and it will come out of the execution. So that to avoid this, so we are using the exceptions. So there are two types of exceptions. One is predefined exceptions and another is user-defined exceptions. Okay, under predefined exception, again we have the named exception and unnamed exception. So these are the predefined, under predefined, we have the named exception and unnamed exception. Another is next we have the user defined. Okay. So predefined exception, it is one of the exception which are defined by the Oracle. There are 20 exceptions available. Okay. So but out of that, we are going to learn only few only which are required in the our regular usage. So predefined exceptions are no data found, too many rows, invalid cursor, cursor already open, invalid number, value error, zero divide, and others. Okay, these are the exceptions we are going to use in the predefined exceptions we are going to use in this programming codes. Syntax is, so how we will use this exception means exception, when exception 1, then statements, so when exception 2, then statements, when others, then statements. So in these exceptions, when you are using the exceptions, above exceptions, no data found, too many rows, invalid cursor, or cursor already open, invalid number, value error, zero divide, others are there. So out of this, other should be usually at the last one as an exception. In the exception, last one you have to use the when others. You should not use on the starting. When there is no other exceptions you are using, then directly you can use the when others exception. But when you are using the no data found or too many rows or any along with any other exception when you are using, this should be the last in the exception part. Okay. So first one is where is having the no data found. So no data found means that means it is coding itself, it is giving some information. That is, there is no data coming for this query, whatever the query we are running. For that query, we are not getting any data, then it is called as a no data found exception. There we are going to use the no data found exception. When a PLSQL block contains a select into clause and also if requested data is not available in the table, Oracle server returns an error. To handle this error, we are using the no data found exception. So for this error, what we are getting is when you get the no data found, then the exception name it will be error is ORE-01403 no data found. So we'll see with the one of the example. So declare LV underscore rename varchar2 of 20 LV underscore salary begin select ename comma salary into LV underscore rename LV underscore salary from EMP where employee number is equals to ampersand number dbms output dot put underscore line of LV underscore rename concatenate LV underscore salary. Suppose when you are executing this one, what will happen? So when you are giving the employee number, okay, 7389. So employee number does not exist. No data found, it is giving error. Suppose when I execute 7839, then I'm getting the value here. So that means when I'm giving the correct number here for the employee number, if you are giving the correct value, I'm getting the output here. But suppose if I'm giving the wrong information or what are the employee number not exist in this table, then I'm getting no data found. So it is not displaying here. So here it is. If the value is there, then it is displaying in the DBMS output. If there is that value not found, then no data found error message it is displaying here. Okay. To avoid this exception, we are going to use the no data found exception. That means, so whenever you are giving the employee number is wrong here or which is not existing in the table, that time it should display the no data found exception. Instead of this error popping out in this script output, I want to display the error message in the DBMS output itself. So declare LV underscore rename varchar2 of 20 LV underscore salary number begin select ename comma salary into LV underscore rename comma LV underscore salary from EMP where employee number is equals to ampersand number and DBMS output LV underscore rename LV underscore salary. Here I am writing the exception here. In the above query up to this it is same. So when you see this query up to this DBMS output it is same here. So after the DBMS output I am adding the exception part here. Exception when no data found, then DBMS output put underscore line of error in code is SQL code and error message is SQL ERR. And one more message statement I am printing, employee does not exist in the table. So that means when it will come here, so when you are passing the employee number which is not in this table, then it will go to the exception part. So 7566 I am passing, so data is there, so it is printed here. Okay, so here we can